Hello, my dear friends. My name is Harold, and welcome to the Sanctum. And now we shall be continuing and returning back to my series on astrology. But this will actually be the next part. I've just completed the 12-part video series on the zodiac signs, and now we'll be moving on to the planets. Now, I've already a while back made a video on the moon, which will be on this playlist on astrology. You can find that on my channel. And now we'll be talking about the sun. Right, it's a beautiful sunny day today in London town, and it's a Sunday as well. So I think it's the best possible time, in my opinion, to talk about the sun. So first of all, it's important to note that I'm talking about the symbolism of the sun. First of all, in the perspective of astrology, right, and the influence of the energies of the sun, and how it manifests in different aspects of our life. But this is all of this that I'm talking about here on YouTube is kind of like a prerequisite or pre-training for the series that I will be making on my Patreon channel, which will be all about how you can use or connect with these particular planetary energies and use them to enrich your life and to enrich manifestation and cause self transformation in a much more rapid sense of the word. Okay, so the sun. First of all, it's important to understand, right? The sun is a ball of fire in the sky. All right, so it is a star. It is that particular star which empowers everything that is there within our solar system, and especially everything that's there on Earth. Right? If the sun were to disappear, everything would die off. This is a fact. And everything that we consume, all the energy that we have, comes from the sun. Okay, even for us as human beings, anything that we eat, we are technically eating the sun, because the plants that we eat get their energy from the sun. If we eat meat as well, that particular animal that we're consuming gets their energy from the plants that they consume that have absorbed the sun's light. Right? So for that reason, it is a symbol of energy. Right? The sun is a symbol of energy. Right? First of all, it's a ball of fire, and it illuminates all of existence in our solar system. Right? So for that reason, it's got a strong link with illumination and enlightenment. Right? That's where the word enlighten, to become like the sun, to glow, to be active. Right? It's a very active planet. It's an active form of energy, right? And it's a symbol of our individuality. Okay. So the sun is often associated with our individuality as well, because it is that individuality, as well as our ego, that shines this light to everything and everyone around our life, to the point in which we almost sometimes could feel that everything is revolving around us. Just like the sun, everything is revolving around our solar system, everything is revolving around it. So in the same way, that light that we shine that can draw other people to us, where we have this sense that we are the center of our universe, in that sense, has this solar association, right? Hence why the ego is a strong symbol and has a connection to the sun. But also the individual soul, right? The soul that is inhabiting the body to give it life, has an association with the sun. Hence why even the word soul, S-O-U-L, comes from the word sol, S-O-L, or solar, sun. Okay, so you can see this connection between the sun and the soul as well. But it's also the conscious mind. If you want to look at it in a more psychological perspective, it's associated with the conscious mind. If the moon is the unconscious, the sun is the conscious mind, because it's that particular aspect of our mind that shines light once again. And of course, it is our unconscious mind that receives and reflects that light and is impressed by that light. So you can see how, even celestially speaking, the moon is that which receives the light of the sun and gets an impression and reflects the rest as moonlight. So as above, so below. What's happening up there is happening within us as well. So that's you can see now the connection between individuality, the ego, the conscious mind, energy, and the sun itself. And now, if you look at the sun, because it powers everything up, and everyone and everything, there's a sense of power there, right? So it's a symbol of charisma, right? A symbol of charisma, and it's a symbol of confidence. So if somebody wanted to improve their confidence or improve their charisma, they would work with the energies of the sun. And that's what I'll be talking about in my Patreon channel in terms of working with planetary energy and things like that. But also, the sun is a star. It powers everything out. Everything revolves around it. It rules fame. Okay, so fame is another aspect that is highly connected with the sun. And if somebody wanted to become a star, a celebrity, people can work with the energies of the sun, and the sun can bestow fame upon a particular individual as well, fame and popularity, because that is what the sun rules. It rules personal power as well. And because it's shining light, it rules healing, right? As well as exorcism, because it has the ability to banish away the darkness. In the presence of the sun, all darkness is illuminated, is banished away. Okay, so disease can be an aspect of that darkness that can be healed and illuminated and banished using the light of the sun. So once again, workings of a healing nature can use the energy of the sun. And if somebody is having a problem of a psychological or spiritual nature, that be the result of a negative psychic attack, the light of the sun can banish that. That's what I mean by exorcism. It can remove that particular influence in that way. It also produces that sense of self within an individual, because once again, it's that individuality. Right? So the self is also a reflection of the sun. Okay, so in an astrological perspective, you can see that now when people talk about astrology in our modern day, by looking at the newspaper or going on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, people often think about their particular astrology sign as the sun sign. They don't realize that there are many different signs, which I talk about on this particular channel and on the playlist on astrology, where we have multiple signs, right? We have a sun sign, a moon sign, a rising sign, all of the different planets. So we're not just this one sign, but people usually, when there are people that don't know astrology, just think that we are just this one sign, the sun sign. When we look at our birthday, where the sun was when we were born, that's our particular sun sign. And if you look at where that particular star, it's actually, we call it a planet even though it's a star. In astrology, we just refer to it as a planet. But in reality, they are all heavenly bodies. But I'm going to refer to it as a planet. When you observe where the sun is on your chart, it could be in Libra, it could be in Aries, wherever it is, you would look at, if you want to have your own interpretation of what it actually means, you want to see where the sun, you want to look at the zodiac sign and what that zodiac sign is talking about, and link it with the meaning and the symbolism of the sun, which I've just spoken about here. So in terms of, it'll tell you more about your conscious mind, how you perceive reality and how you affect reality on a conscious level. It'll tell you more about the nature of one's ego. It'll tell you more about that which brings you healing, that which helps you move closer to illumination, that which can bring you fame, is where your sun is in that way. Your sense of righteousness, that is also has a strong association with the sun. The sense of righteousness, your sense of self is also has a strong association with where your sun was. And all of these things that I've just spoken about is linked with the sun. Right? And if you look at the behavior of the sun itself, it's like that energetic generator. And our sense of energy And where we get that particular energy and where we're able to shine the most light is often where our sun is when we were born. So if you wanted to interpret it that way, um, that's something that can be done. So now, to connect stronger to the sun's energy, you can start by doing a particular quarterly working, which I spoke about in another video, and you can find that on my channel, where I talk about how you can actually work with the energy of the sun. And I will add that as a link on the top of this video, so that you can check that out if you wish to tap into the sun's light and the energy of the sun. But of course, you can see there is this, it also has a sense of immortality. The sun is also linked with this idea of immortality, because when the sun rises in the morning, it reaches its peak at noon, or what we call solar noon, and then it begins to set and it dies at night. It's now under the earth, so it's now quote unquote dead. We can't see it, it's now all dark. But then again, it rises the next day, and then it sets again, it rises again, it sets again, and it rises again. And this is what happens every day, right? So there's this continuity, right? There's the birth, there's the death, and there's the resurrection, which is associated with the sun, which also is reflected in many of the mythologies of solar type deities throughout the course of of human existence. Like Osiris, for example, was also an example of a solar deity that is born, cut into pieces, and dies, and then is resurrected again. Dionysus is another one. Christ is another one. Krishna is another one. All of these are very solar deities that are associated with the sun and have that solar principle, um, that principle of illumination, right, of light itself, of lux, LVX, which is light, right? And the bringing of the light, the coming of the light, to help us connect to that divine potential, that spark that's within ourselves, that connects us to that which is divine. Okay, so the sun is an incredible source of energy, and if we start to connect to its power, we can begin to enhance our own illumination and the amount of light and grace that we can experience in our life. So I hope this all makes sense, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please share it with all your friends, and please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you, take care, and I shall see you soon.